I think that the idea of homophobia is an interesting one, right? And I'm gonna talk. You push back if you want to. Okay. And I've said this before. So my wife, we've been together for 20 years, married 16. For whatever reason, she has a thing with animals. And whenever she's around animals, she freaks out, but specifically dogs. I've seen her jump on cars. I've seen her jump on living room couches. I've seen her jump on dining room tables. I'm talking if there's a dog. We don't know why. There was no bite when she was a kid. We don't know why. To me, when I think the word phobia, like that's a phobia of animals to me, right? And so when the word phobia gets kind of thrown around, you're fat phobic, you're homophobic, you're transphobic. I'm like, aren't we kind of weaponizing language to make someone something for not affirming said thing?
Yes.
Right. And so when you said like, so I'm trying to get clarity on what does that look like for you? Because we had the conversation last night. Actually, my brother and sister came over yesterday. They're a little younger than me. They're 31. I'm 39. And my 3-year-old was painting my sister's fingernails. And somehow the conversation of boys painting their fingernails came up. And I was like, yeah, no, we don't do that here. And they were like, oh, okay. And then some boys get their nails painted. And we were like, yeah, we don't do that here. We as boys don't get our fingernails painted here. And then someone, I think my wife was like, well, yeah, like, but there's some, you can get, like the clear. And I was like, okay, that's different. You know, if you want to, Levi, who's 9, my 9-year-old, if you want to go get a manicure, we can go get a manicure together, and like that'll probably help you stop biting your nails. But when it comes to this, we don't do this as men in this house because maybe it's me and my conspiracy theory brain, but I do feel like there's an intentional desire to try and feminize men. Right, consistently, right? And so whether that's their temperament, whether that's women, sometimes, not all the time, confusing competence with tyranny, right? And you're thinking a man is competent, therefore he wants to be a tyrannical man that's perpetuating the patriarchy and everything's bad. And so it's like, no. We're not going to do that. This is why we're not going to do that. And we think, and I believe that sometimes there's this intentional effort, sometimes, not all the time, to try and make men soft and docile. And here, we do push-ups and pull-ups every day. We work out, we protect, we work hard, we earn, we love our women, we love our sisters and our wives, right? And so I don't see that as homophobic. Like I see that as, no, that's just a hard line for us. We're not gonna do that. Now, my friends that come around, who are like artists and rappers, and that's like real trendy now. Like I don't roast them for it. I don't make fun of them. I don't tease them about it. I don't even think about it, right? It's never crossed my mind of like, you're gay because you got your finger. Like it's just, but I do know how some people would see that and be like, you're not allowing your 9-year-old to paint his fingernails is homophobic. And I'm just like, no, it's not, because he needs to understand what a masculine man is. And that to me is just one expression that can be used as a way to like soften boys instead of allowing them to be masculine in who they are. What do you think about that? I know I just said a whole lot.
I guess my question is, what inherently about painting your nails makes you soft? Is it that it is typically historically tied to women? Yeah. Same thing that wearing a dress makes you soft, right? Now, obviously, there's always the exception to the rule. There's kilts, right, that look like dresses, but they're not dresses. But I'm not letting my boy wear a dress, right? And I'm not letting him wear a kilt, because he's not Scottish, right? So that would be the thing, is like, if this is something that historically women do, and we're not going to do that, you know? Yeah, I think there is a point in saying, how does our culture digest this, right? And so I would land differently with you in that my husband and I would probably allow our boys to paint their nails, but we would have the conversation with saying, okay, what does this mean in our culture? And is this how you're expressing it? Because when I was growing up, it was focus on the family would give the advice, don't let your boys paint their nails. Don't let your girls wear boys' clothes. It means they're gay.
it was so important. So I wore boys' clothes. Like,
what is boys' clothes?
Well, I wore boys' clothes the last time I was on your show.
But I think, don't you think there's a difference between a girl wearing a hoodie and a boy wearing a blouse? Like, unless they're Prince. Like, and if you're Prince, you can do whatever you want. I don't care if you're Prince.
You can do whatever
you're the coolest dude on the
sure.
earth. You could wear heels, right? Because he's like, you know, it's Prince.
Yeah,
it's Michael, right? A little different. But I think there's a big difference between a boy wearing a blouse or you know, with like even a scoop neck to me looks a little weird with the tummy out. You know, it's like some of the workout stuff. A crop top. I'm just kind of like, what are we doing, guys? You know. So I think there's a difference.
Yes,
I'm being facetious.
That's fair.
Yeah,
no.
I think there's a difference.
That is fair.
I think you wearing a hoodie, or I don't remember what you had on last time. You wearing a hoodie, a sweater. Yeah. I didn't think that. I didn't think, oh, she's wearing boys' clothes.
It is much different for girls to wear boys' clothes than it is for boys to wear girls' clothes. Mm-hmm. So I'd say in our culture, there are real implications of, again, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. Yeah, I think the things I'm thinking through are like in my relationship with my husband. Like, I'm physically bigger than my husband.
Mm-hmm. Like you're taller.
I'm taller.
Mm-hmm.
I'm heavier than my husband. Mm-hmm. I work out. Mm-hmm. My husband doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. Like, there are some differences that our boys see in their day-to-day lives that's their norm. My 5-year-old was telling people at the zoo the other day, you can tell which one's the female because the female is larger. And I was like, no, okay, that's smart.
That's hilarious.
And that's true in our context. It's not typically true in most contexts. Sure. So I think I think you have to weigh both. Yeah. I can't prescribly answer.
Sure.
And I respect the way that you parent. And I think it's noble. But I don't think that's the conviction that I hold.
Yeah.
But again, the conviction that I hold would have a conversation with my son saying, people are probably going to say this to you. Right. Do you know what it means? Right. And like, can we talk about that? So when I say homophobia, so this is my thing. I've been called homophobic before because I do not affirm a secular sexual ethic. Mm-hmm. Which is very interesting to me because I've never been called Islamophobic before, mm-hmm. which I would say, when I say I'm a Christian, mm-hmm. that means I believe all other religions mm-hmm. are wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they'll call you Islamophobic too. That's coming.
Oh, maybe they will in the comments here. Yeah, there we go. Please.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting, right? That we hold the line in some places. For very. Sure. So that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
I think I mean. I know I mean going, oh, I wanted you to I thought being a sold out Christian meant to assimilate and mm-hmm. look like this, when I'm actually coming to realize there are marks of the LGBTQ community's lives that are like threads mm-hmm. in a blanket that don't need to make up the blanket in a whole, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. But when someone, this is very abstract, but let's say like a Mexican blanket is still a blanket, mm-hmm. but there's like a mark mm-hmm. there. Mm-hmm. It's a familiar look mm-hmm. That speaks to and tells a story of its origins. And so when I think of the Samaritan woman, I think of Jesus uniquely using her sinful identity, like an identity that was literally founded on the mark of sexual sin, mm-hmm. to witness back to that community. Mm-hmm. So I look at the LGBTQ plus community and I go, oh, it doesn't necessarily have to mean assimilating to what do straight people look like and do and mm-hmm. embody and act. Mm-hmm. When there's a lot of ways that God made people mm-hmm. that can signify certain things and that God can use to witness to a community that, you know, a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community don't feel safe around.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.